There we go. Think we're the right way now? Okay. There we go. I don't know what happened there. I'll have to see now. If I can get you back. I don't know if it's because I've got both phones and it's taken up too much bandwidth. There we go. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be using a half a cup of vegan butter or margarine. I'm going to be using the Basil. If you get it in the 4 pieces, 1 wedge is actually automatically a half a cup. And it seems that I should get a spoon. Okay, so we'll dry this off. And we're going to add 2 more eggs. And then we're going to be adding vanilla. And then I'm going to try and combine this. Well, I'm not sure if I should have melted. You would think by how much I make brownies and pizza and all of this stuff, I would remember. But you know, when you get in front of a camera, you all of a sudden, it just goes out your head. So, we're going to add 2 large eggs, half a cup of brown sugar. So I've got a half a cup of brown sugar already pre-measured. I'm going to add that. Now I don't know where you happen to be in the world, but I know here we definitely have a problem with our brown sugar getting super hard. And the best thing that I have found that helps it not be hard is the peel of an apple. I have tried the terracotta, like everything under the sun. So then it also calls for 3/4 of a cup. Now, you can also use coconut sugar, and you can just use like 1.5 cups of coconut sugar. I didn't have enough of that in my pantry to be able to use, so we are going to be using one of the poisons, white sugar and brown sugar. And we're gonna mix well. Use your muscles. I think it's near time in this part of the world. So half a teaspoon of baking soda and baking powder. Do I have quarter of a teaspoon, quarter of a teaspoon? Okay. So we're going to add 1, 2 quarters, make a half. So half a teaspoon of baking soda and a half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. We're going to combine that well. Then we're going to be adding a half a cup of cocoa. I like to use the Hershey's cocoa because it doesn't have sulfites or anything else added into it. I am someone that is incredibly sensitive to sulfites. So stuff that is in wine and other preservatives. So I definitely try and find as many ingredients as possible that don't contain any kind of sulfites. So this is going to be going in the garbage. I'll move that over here. Adding a little bit more. Hershey's cocoa. There. So that is our half a cup of Hershey's cocoa. These are going to be so yummy. These are going to be so yummy. Can you see the powder? And make sure you beat it really well to get and make it as smooth as possible so you can get out all of your lumps and bumps. So needless to say, for supper tonight, as it is, what time is it in my part of the world? Oh, it's 6:08 already. So it's going to be a late supper. So then we are adding 3/4 of a cup of our 1-to-1 Bob's Red Mill gluten-free flour. It already has your xanthan gum and other. It already has your xanthan gum in it, so that lovely stuff that helps make your gluten-free flour nice. And so I'm just going to add a half a cup first and see how it is, and then we'll go to see make sure it's not too dry. So I found at the dollar store these 4 or 6 pack of these little springs. Now, if you happen to be a cat lover and you have cats, they are definitely, so this is kind of after a half a cup what the consistency is like. So we're going to add another 1/4 of a cup, and that will be it. Then we are going to grease our pan. Now it says 30 to 35 minutes, but because we're making little brownie bites, I'm not sure. Now I guess I should probably, yeah. going to have to preheat my oven to 350, but we can't forget that the pizza dough is in there rising. There we go. So we are going to take out the pizza dough. And we're going to turn on the oven to 350. Okay. So this is the consistency. I don't have a cameraman, woman, person, human yet, but that's the consistency of your brownie mix for y'all to see. So we are done. Going to be taking our actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I have these really sweet, well, I have some colorful ones, but I also have some white ones. Little baking cups. Perfect size for this little, well, let's see if we can move some of this stuff out of the way so that you guys can perfectly see what the heck I'm doing. So we're going to throw our eggs in our compost. Okay, so I'm going to set these in. That way too, these will make some nice decorative ridges around the edge of your little 1-bite brownies. And then you don't have to worry about anything sticking. Now hopefully, I've never done 1-bite brownies this way before. So I am definitely hoping that the brownies are not going to be sticking to the paper. We're all fly by the seat of our pants, let's see how things work out kind of thing today. Oh, drop some on the floor. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to get a couple of little spoons. And we're going to put them in each So hopefully, since we're doing this live for y'all to see, that this will work out and that they will not stick to the paper and that they will turn out beautifully. In a perfect world, one thing about doing things live for the first time you never know how things are gonna go. There. So it might be also, instead of just, I mean, I'm so used to doing these, it might be easy to just use like a cookie scoop. I mean, I'm just roughly using teaspoon, tablespoon-ish. And these don't have any baking powder in them, so I don't anticipate that there's going to be a tremendous amount of rise. Felix lost his spring under the set of shelves here in the kitchen. So I wonder how that's going. How's that going for you, bud? Okay. So this recipe is going to yield more than 24 one-bite brownies by the looks of things. It will probably make possibly 30. Maybe not. There we go. So this is about how much is left. There's not too much left. Probably enough to make 2 or 3 one-bite brownies. So we'll just set this aside. Rinse our hands and dry them. And we're going to try and shake these. Oops. I'm going to try and spread them out a little bit. Okay, and we're going to take these, and our oven is preheated successfully to 350. So I don't know if I will, because some of these are fuller than others, if I'll take the last little bits of remaining batter and fill some of these up a little bit more. I think that's what I will do. Some of the ones that are not quite as full. So it's good to know then that this recipe will definitely yield 24 one-bite brownies. And hopefully I'm not going to burn them, because this is my first time making them, actually, hard to believe, in attempting to make them in the one bite rather than a pan of brownies. So yeah, if you top up the rest of them, it will exactly make 24 one-bite brownies. So I am going to put these in. I think I'm going to move the shelf up and let it heat back up for a minute. Let's take a look at so you can see our dough. Our pizza dough is getting bigger and shall soon be ready for us to make a couple of pizzas. Now, when I make gluten-free pizzas, I bake the pizza dough, before I add any of the toppings. That's just through process of elimination and making a gazillion pizzas. The best pizza in the world, I might add. That it turns out to be the best. So we're going to pop these in the oven. So I'm going to just set that on 10 minutes. The timer on 10, I guess I'll put it on 12, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. So now, while the brownies are cooking, we are going to cut up some pizza toppings. So today I'm going to be using ham, pineapple, some peppers, some sweet onion, some thinly sliced tomato, pizza sauce, and I had gotten some cheddar and 4-cheese Mexican Dia blend cheese. This new 4-cheese Mexican, it has Monterey Jack, cheddar, Acerado, and queso flavors. Absolutely my favorite new cheese by far. By far. So we're going to continue our sink of dishes. So let me take this, since I've got some cocoa all over that. One nice thing about getting these little mini peppers, mini bell peppers, like these little, and they come in, it's really, I thinly sliced them, and yeah, so we're gonna go with yellow, red, and orange, and we're going to take these out. That's it. Not nearly as many seeds as in. Now I could probably save these seeds because we have gardening season coming up. Dry them out and make and have some wonderful mini sweet peppers for the summer. So I think I will do that. So there is the orange. Now we're going to take out the yellow. Okay, so then I am just going to take a plate, because I'm going to put all the ingredients separately on each plate, and I'm just going to thinly slice them into rings, and we are going to be putting these atop our pizzas. So one thing is, because I cook the pizza dough first and then add the vegetables, I like to add the vegetables as thin as possible. Then I will bake in the oven, and then I will turn the oven on broil and put the pizza in the bottom of the pan to try and crisp up and soften the onions and peppers and mushrooms or whatever you might happen to add that you may not want super crispy. Because it's nice to have your pizza vegetables. Of course, not quite. So I'm gonna just take a really sharp knife and dice So we'll save those for sandwiches or something. So there we have our beautiful rings of peppers. Red, yellow, and orange. So then I'm going to rinse this. Ooh, those brownies. I wish you could smell them. I wish we had smell-o-vision because they smell divine. And the bulb to my oven had just broke. And I thought I had another one, but I didn't. So I'm using some Black Forest traditional ham, gluten-free, extra lean. If you're in Canada, made by President's Choice. I will show you a little bit up close and personal. I don't know if you can see that, but I always find it really difficult to open up from the corner. There we go. So, going to cut these. Plate and put on our ham. Take out the seeds from the peppers. Okay, so how many? So there's 8 slices of ham per pack. So I'm thinking we'll be using 3 slices per pizza. I could use it all, but I'm going to save some for my daughter to have a ham sandwich because she was craving it. And I said, well, can you save? I said, you can definitely have it to make a sandwich, just save enough because I'm going to make pizza. So she chose not to have any, so I'm going to surprise her. And if this ends up being way too much ham, then maybe I'll make some nice quesadillas or breakfast quesadillas or an omelet or something like that for the morning. Okay, so that is the ham. Set that there. Okay, now we're going to go with a sweet pepper. I'm going to peel off the outside. Okay, take that there. And I can thinly slice these. I think that is enough because we're going to be putting these into rings. And I know that the white onions are definitely, the white sweet onions are definitely milder than the, I think we'll leave those yellow onions out because it's got the big thing in it. Okay. Okay, so now we have onions, and then I'm also going to do a thinly sliced tomato. cut off that. Now, we compost in this end of the world, so I'm going to cut that little part out, and we're going to save. So I'm going to thinly slice. So I try and get a fairly firm tomato. My favorite are, rather than vine ripe, are Roma tomatoes. But this is what we had in the fridge, so this is what we will go with. There we go. So we'll save those. So this is kind of how they're going to look. Some nice translucent so that you can almost see through them. Yeah, here we go. And there are our ingredients for our beautiful pizza. Wow, and you can really smell those brownies. Shall we see what they look like? Oh, I was wrong. Oh no, I had them way too full. Low. Me not thinking they were going to rise much. Well, they're definitely going to be very full one-bite brownies. Very full one-bite brownies. That is unfortunate. So, putting them 2/3 full is a much better idea than putting them almost full. But that is 12 minutes, so let us see if they are near done. Let me get a toothpick. Let me get a toothpick and see. Let me open up the toothpicks. I'll get a couple of toothpicks here, and we'll see. We'll see. I should have probably put them on a pan like I was thinking. Okay, so they're definitely not anywhere near done. We'll keep those in. As you can see, not the clean test, so they're definitely not done. And we'll put them in for another 10 minutes. No, reset, timer, 10. There we go. So, now we are going to start rolling out our pizza dough. Pizza dough. So I'm going to take my spray olive oil and I'm going to set those aside. Going to wipe off the table because there's still some cocoa and stuff. We do not want brownie flavored pizza. And I think I'm going to just add table up and roll these out for you. Love this little table from IKEA. We're going to get some flour. I think what I might do is actually roll them out here where it's a roll surface. You know, where it doesn't have this divider that's going to get lots of flour in it. So then we're going to get our, so see how big these are? Look how ginormous they got. Absolutely fabulous. So we're going to take the smaller one and squish it down. Now I use some flour when I roll this out so that it's not super sticky, because it is super sticky. Okay, but this is super easy, as you can see, to roll out. I should have probably got some parchment paper so that it's going to be easier to roll out and put in the pan. But usually when I'm here making pizzas for the fam and not for a live YouTube video, it doesn't matter to me if I roll it on my roller and it breaks going into the pan, because, you know. So, going to roll this up. As I can see, I should have probably just put this in the pan, because it's all coming apart. Okay. Oh, making a big mess. Well, that didn't work out at all. But anyway, we're going to press it. We're going to press it in the pan. It doesn't necessarily need to look pretty to taste fabulous. It is, the dough is a little wet, well, not wet, sticky, very sticky. But really super easy to press into a pan. Now, if you wanted to, you could definitely save some of the dough and fill it with cheese and have a cheese crust. Have a stuffed cheese crust is what I'm trying to get out. What I'm trying to get out. What I'm trying to spit out of my mouth. So yeah, so if you wanted to make just one pan of 9 by 13, then you could do a smaller roll, and do a nice rolly stuffed crust. You could actually roll it out. You could roll it out, roll the cheese in it, and then just put it all the way around on top, and when it cooks it would all melt together. So that is one pizza crust. Now I will stab this like you do your pie crust. Gotta take. I think we're burning the brownies. Oh, not there. Okay, so let me see. Okay. They definitely got the clean test. Let's see how much time is on our timer. 3 minutes. So 12 and 7, 19 minutes to make 1 bite brownies and clean as a whistle. So that's good to know. Now, I did fill them up too much, and I'm gonna show you without trying to burn myself. But as you can see, I did overfill them. So I'm not sure if they'll just be mushroom 1 bite brownies, or if I'll cut those off, or what I'll do. But we shall see. So we're gonna let those cool. We're gonna let those cool. Oh well, live and learn. So now I'm going to, where was I? A fork. We're going to take a fork like we would and just poke some holes. And then while I'm making the other one, I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm going to turn the oven up a little bit. No, I guess 350 is fine. I'm going to cook this in the oven for approximately till it's nice, light, and golden. I don't usually time it, so today we're going to have an idea. I'll set the timer for 15 minutes. Reset, timer, no, let's go reset. Timer 12. Let's go with 12 and see how that goes. And then I think I am actually going to press this into the pan directly instead of trying to roll it, since now I'm not sure if this will 100% make this whole pan. Going to flour our fingers as needed. So yeah. Oh, my ring is making. Okay, so there, it doesn't quite make 9 by 13, depending on how thin or thick you want your crust. And we'll poke some holes and pop this in the oven. Now, let me see. I will put this one on will throw that one in as well. Okay, there we go. And we're going to wash all the flour off our hands. A lot of hand washing, that's for sure. Okay, now, what shall we do next? Well, we wait for those pizzas to, I guess we'll clean up our flour mixture. I have got some paper towel that so let me know, what is your favorite? Today we'll be making ham and pineapple, which I know a lot of people say that ham and pineapple is not pizza and it shouldn't exist. Is yours vegetable or all meats? Are you a meat person? Okay, so get that wet again. So like I said, I will link to my Amazon store, and if you decide that you want to get Bob's Red Mill Pizza or the Hershey's chocolate or any of the things that I will post in, it definitely helps out my channel when you buy through my links. And third time is the charm. So for those that know me, definitely know that I am not a fan of cleanup whatsoever. It is not my favorite thing. In a perfect world, I would have a kitchen helper that loved to clean up and enjoyed the fruits of my labor and eating really fabulous, wonderful food. Well, I prepared it all. So, we've got ham, cheese, onion, tomato. We'll put all of these little things that are left into our compost. I'm going to save the seeds from them. I have the seeds there from the yellow. Okay, there. So we'll save the seeds. We're going to dry those out and we're going to plant those this spring in the garden, and I'll let you know how that works out. I'll let you know how that goes. I'll take you along to my garden beds and show you. Okay. Those are some leftovers for some sandwiches. We'll put some of our things away and back into the cupboard. So I have some Primo pizza sauce. We're not necessarily big fans of a ton of sauce. So I'm going to try and divide the sauce between the two pizzas. I've got some thyme, basil, some garlic salt, and some parsley and Italian seasonings that took a dive onto the floor. So, some measuring cups. I also have regular salt that we're not going to have. Okay, And then we have our cheese. And then we have our cheese. So, I don't know if these are going to be hard as rocks and if I did these wrong. But these are, don't know. Yeah. So these are little mushroom cap 1-bite brownies. Let's try them, shall we? Let's try one. Well, the top is nice and crunchy, and the bottom is really nice and soft. Well, not soft, like moist, really good. Where is my glass of water? What did I do? These are so good. So I'm going to get my dollar store cupcake cake. Now, we don't have a dollar store here in this part of the world, but we do have a Dollarama. And in Dollarama, there's not very much that's $1. I think these are 3. I mean, obviously all the little things are $1, but so we're going to put these. Now, note to self the next time I make these, not to put them so full, because they do bubble over. Now, because I have 24 of these, this is not going to be enough room, but we are going to be making a nice butter icing to put on top. So I'm going to be grabbing some powdered sugar, icing sugar, icing sugar, powdered sugar. We're going to add a little bit of that softened margarine. So we're just gonna put a couple of tablespoons, get a little whisk. So we just add some vegan butter or margarine, or if you want some regular butter. We're going to add a couple of tablespoons of powdered sugar, and we're going to be adding a little bit. Now, it would be nice to probably have some white vanilla for this, as to not darken your icing. So we're going to, and that's it. Those are all the ingredients. Is some, well, if you're not vegan, just some butter. There is the timer. And if you are vegan, you can add some dairy-free butter or margarine, some Earth's Own or Basil. So we're that it's a little, I guess, too thick or not the consistency you desire. I definitely am not a fan of adding a little bit of plant-based milk to thin it out, because then I find you need to be adding a ton, and I mean a ton, of icing sugar. And it makes a nice consistency of an icing all on its own. And this is a nice complement to our... So then we're going to take a little baggie. I'm going to grab some scissors. We're just going to be cutting off the end to make around... Now I think, I'm not sure if these would be too warm yet. Let's see. We shall see. So we're going to add in some icing into our plastic bag. So if you don't happen to have a baker's bag or a icing bag or a piping bag, whatever it is that I'm trying to say, then you can use, I'm going to need a lot more icing for this. I did not make nearly enough, but better to make not enough than too much. So then I was hoping to have enough icing to be able to ice all of these, but it's not. So we're going to have to add I probably don't have enough of this vegan butter softened, to be honest. But, and I do know that the pizza crusts are still in the oven. Don't worry. I haven't forgot about them. But I also have my sniffer that can sniff out if they happen to be getting too well done. I can smell just about anything. It was funny, the other night my daughter had got up and made some chicken fingers in the oven, and I happened to be laying in bed, and you know how your oven will tick whenever it is reheating, it'll kind of, and then when the temperature cools down, it'll tick again, as it just did there, when it heats back up. And I could hear that, and I could also, even though there was nothing in the oven, smell like something was cooking. You know, like you could smell the grill of the oven was cooking almost, and had a setting was on. So there we go. We have some more Now, when I was growing up, this would have probably been called butter icing. But, I mean, obviously today there are so many variations of this that you can make to ensure that it's vegan. Okay, there we go. Though my hands are really greasy, so there we go. So you would probably need about a cup of vegan butter or butter and 2 to 3 cups of icing sugar in order to, and a little bit of vanilla in order to make this icing. Okay, so let us check out our, put that down below. So this one, as you can tell, this is what it looks like. It's getting lightly golden. I wish I could look underneath and show you, but I will. It gets lightly golden around the edges, and you can tell that it's dry and not as wet. And like I said, in my experience, the best kind of gluten-free pizza crust is something that is definitely baked in the oven prior to adding your toppings. So let me set this down and get some mats. So, multitasking. So this is what also now our little peanut butter brownie. And look, I'm sweating. It is hot in here today, especially with the oven going. But these are the 1-bite brownies. We are going to get some sprinkles. And make them. So I'll probably do some up for my beautiful granddaughters. Can you see? We're going to sprinkle and they will stick to, and there you have it. You're beautiful. I will do some photos and post them to my Instagram and Facebook and all of that stuff. But we're going to cover these. I love that the lid is elevated. There. And set these aside. And now we are going to start making our pizza. So let's take our pizza sauce, take off the lid. Now I'm going to divide this into 2. Now this one is just traditional. I do have another can of pizza sauce or tomato sauce, whatever you want to add. So I'm just going to spread this out. And there we go. That's probably too hot for me to show, but can you see that? Can you see that that's roughly how much sauce? I don't know how much sauce you like, but this is how much sauce we're going to put on. So then I'm going to sprinkle on our spices. Going to sprinkle on some dried parsley. And then I'm going to sprinkle on some garlic powder. And then we're gonna go with, what is this? Basil. And thyme. And a little bit of Italian seasoning. Now you could just go with oregano because I know that there's some basil and thyme that are in Italian seasoning. So I'm not going to be using a lot of Italian seasoning since I have the other spices on. So I'm going to go with that. I also have some pineapples that we're going to have to drain. Here we go. Strainer. There we go. So I've got some pineapple tidbits, and we're going to set those and let them drain. So now I'm going to be adding, some would say, the best part. So we're going to add our sweet peppers. Now obviously toppings are a personal preference. Some of our yellow ones are not all in. Okay, and we're going to add our rings of onions. Okay, then I'm going to add some thinly sliced tomato. I should probably have some music on, but then you might not be able to hear me. So then we're just going to sprinkle on the ham. Like I said, I will link in the description box the items I used. Now, everything you won't be able to get on Amazon, but so then we're going to add our tidbits of pineapple. Actually haven't made pizza in a while. This used to be something we would make fairly regularly. Okay, so rinse my hands. Let's check the pizza that's in the oven, shall we? Okay, so this one is done as well. You can see light golden brown. This one is a little bit more done than the other one, but this one is a little thicker, so that's totally fine. I will leave that on. I'm going to turn the oven up to about 425. We're going to sprinkle some cheddar. Now, this Daya also comes in mozzarella, but we are going to sprinkle that on. And then, here's my scissors. Here's my scissors. I'm going to open up this 4-cheese blend. And put that on top. And this is a Monterey Jack. And, oh my gosh, this is so good. A Mexican. It has no dairy, no soy, and no gluten. And is my favorite dairy-free cheese. So Daya, if you're out there, hit me up. I'd love to work with you. Okay, so we'll save some cheese for the next pizza. And now that that has heated up, we're going to put the pizza in the oven. So I put this in the oven about 425 for like 5 or 10 minutes till the vegetables soften and everything heats up, maybe 15. I just kind of wing it. And then I will turn it on to broil to make sure that the cheese cooks. But I usually put it low down in the oven. When I'm cooking the crust, I put it high up in the oven. And when I'm doing the vegetables, I put it low in the oven. So we're going to set that there, and we're going to let that cook for about 10 minutes. Now let me put the timer on. I will smell it, but there we go. So now we're going to be adding our sauce. Definitely a lot more sauce to this one. I'm going to spread this out. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh my gosh. This just smells so good. There is nothing better than freshly baked anything in a kitchen. So, this one is a little saucier, but it is a little thicker, so we're gonna add parsley. And then we're going to add thyme, basil. Okay, we're going to add some garlic salt. That's the last of that one. And what's this one? Basil. And what's this one? Not much time left. Okay, and then we'll add some Italian seasoning. Add some Italian seasoning. And then we're going to add our vegetables. I think I'm going to add the tomatoes first. I think that one is too thick, that end. My daughter will not enjoy that. And there. Now we're going to add our peppers. I think there's enough. I think we... Let me see if I can dice up some more. There. And dice up a few more of these. have it. We did good. We did good, y'all. We did good for as far as cutting up and having enough of everything. Okay, we're going to turn this pizza on broil. Okay, we're going to turn this pizza on broil. I'm going to add some pineapple. So basically we want to try and have every bite of this pizza have some toppings on it. So this is probably a lot of pineapple and stuff, but that's okay. That's okay. So we'll dry off our hands. We're going to top with the rest of the cheddar. And then we're going to use the rest of the 4-cheese blend. There we go. There we go, there we go. Put this in the garbage. Rinse our hands. Wash our hands. Cleanup isn't going to be crazy, which is nice. So all this stuff we'll put in here. This we'll put in the sink. Waste. Okay, so now let's check our pizza. Nope, not quite yet. Turn seasoning, making a mess. All over the spices. Okay, take a drink of water. So we don't get dehydrated. Put this in compost. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So this is what it looks like, all dressed up. And as soon as that pizza is done that's in the oven, oh, it's close. It's close. We'll turn it off broil and put it on 425. Leave it in there for a minute or two. And then we're gonna take her on out. Let her cool. Let her cool. I think I might actually even splurge and have. I normally have sparkling water, but I think I'm gonna splurge. We're gonna go with Coke ginger ale. Coke ginger ale. I think we're going to go with Coke. Go with Coke. Rinse those out and put them in the recycles. Then we're going to get out our ice cubes because I have to have ice cubes in all of my drinks. It's just a thing. I should actually get out my plastic ice cubes, you know, so that they don't water down my drink. But anyway, that's for another day. So, there we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. There we go, one down. Put this in. About 10 or 15 minutes because that one's a little thicker. And this one, I will show you. There you go. Oh my goodness. This is, oh my gosh. There you have it. Gluten, dairy-free pizza. I'm actually, shall I cut this already? Okay, we'll turn it around. It's still way, way, way too hot to eat. There you have it. But that's about it for now. I will take some photos and post them to my community page so you can see what fabulousness we cooked up today. Gluten-free, dairy-free pizza, gluten-free, dairy-free brownie bites with a nice creamy butter icing and sprinkles. Perfect for the kids, perfect for the adult that's a kid at heart. And we'll see you again soon for another live. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. If you like it, please hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Really, really, really helps support my channel. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, which, as you know, is the threshold with YouTube to start being monetized. So every view, every minute definitely helps support my channel. So yeah, if you tuned in, make sure you comment down below. Maybe I'll start doing some lives and post in the community page ingredients that you can purchase, and we'll do a live together. You can make it at your home while I make it in my home. So let me know if you think that's a really good idea. Thank you so much, everyone. Much love. Bye-bye.